know we're at that time of the year when the transfer window is open and all the rumours are flying around and all over the internet and everywhere else. And Mansfield Town being linked to one particular striker. We know they need a striker, or they're looking for a striker anyway. And the name is Michael Smith. I keep trying to say Martin Smith, but it's definitely Michael Smith, and it's not the darts player. It's the Michael Smith from Preston, of Rotherham and Sheffield Wednesday in years gone by, and one that apparently Mansfield Town have made inquiries in. Georgia, do you want to tell us a bit more about that and give us your thoughts?
Yeah, there's been a couple of talks about him generally, but it was our sister site, the Lancashire Post, that said Stags have held initial talks with Preston over a potential deal for Michael Smith. It's an interesting one. I will give my thoughts because I do feel a type of way about it. I don't know if you feel the same as me, but he obviously held in high regard. You know, he signed for Preston after leaving Sheffield Wednesday. Bradford are also apparently interested in him at the moment. So it's another case of, you know, will Stags come out on top and get quite clearly a highly sought after striker? But good fit. Do you want him? What do you think?
I can see what I can see. I can see the appeal, and I know why if it's true, which, to be honest, it's coming from a reputable source in George Hodgson, so you kind of think, well, it's not something that just made up. I can see why Nigel will be interested in him. He's a player that's played 5 years in the Championship, 5 seasons in the Championship, and that's the last 3 in the Championship as well. So you're getting a player who has already won promotion at League One level. He's banged in the goals at League One level, and as you said, he's been sought after by Sheffield Wednesday when they're in the Championship. So he's not sort of banged in goals the last 4 seasons, but he's got experience and he looks like a good target man that could link up well with McGoldrick. So I can see why.
Yes, like same as me, I can see why. However, I think for me, it gets to a point where he is 34, and it gets to a point where, you know, when is enough experience? Because obviously, you've just signed McGoldrick, who is 38. You've got the likes of Akins, and we've said this multiple times that seniority is not a bad thing, and it's actually quite a positive asset to this Stag side. But you did also see how much young loan signings like George Abbott and Ollie Iro gave Stags last season. You know, just quick injections of youth here and there. It's good to have balance, and I'm just thinking, yes, they are focusing on bolstering their attack, but do they need another 30-plus-year-old striker when they've just signed Emma Goldrick? They've got Akins, Oates, Will Evans, and Tyler Roberts as well. I'm not saying they're all 30. I'm just listing the centre forwards. Yeah, is it a need? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether a signing like this falls in the category of experience over quality, sort of proven quality, in that it's not experience a case of he just got age. He's got proven quality at League One level. And if you've played the last 3 seasons in the Championship and then you make that step down, you are coming down to an inferior division in theory anyway. And you know, he's someone that would hit the ground running. And is he just another Will Evans, but an upgrade on that, if you like? He's kind of a similar player, similar sort of goal ratio, but someone who's done it. Like I said, he hasn't made a lot of starts, and I think that'll be the key. He's not starting, I think, January the 20th of last season, so he's a guy that would presumably be interested in coming to the club. He must live in the area, certainly have family in the area, having come from Rotherham and Sheffield Wednesday, and at that age, he'll probably still have the desire to prove himself one more time and to play regular football. So while you're saying about Iro and whatnot, younger players, that they are players with quality, but sometimes you see a player that's been there and done it. And if you're going for a promotion challenge, you want someone who isn't going to crumble under the pressure of having never done one before.
Yeah, absolutely. That is, you know, one of the big arguments for him. Like, I'm not saying it's an absolute no. It's just one of those that I'm like, I wonder, because as you say, he didn't play too much last season. Like, towards the end of the season, I think it was mostly substitute appearances, and he did spend some time not even coming off the bench. And I just wonder where, let's say Stags do sign him, who's going to be the first choice striker? Are they going to opt for 2 at the top? What's this kind of formation going to look like if they do bring Michael Smith in, and then they've got McGoldrick to also factor in. They've got Will, they've got Reece, Tyler Roberts, who they made such an effort to keep. There's a lot of firepower there, but how much is too much before it becomes a bit of a headache? Do you know what I mean?
I suppose it was interesting to see he got was it 19 goals in League One in 21-22, and the player below him in the standard for top scorer was Lee Gregory, who obviously similar sort of path, but he's made his way back to Mansfield after all those years, and he did a good job at the time. And perhaps he's a player that comes in that's got the experience, as in Smith. This is if he signs, he's got the experience. He's not going to come in and play 46 games, but he's going to be a very handy target man with McGoldrick playing off him, or when Roberts isn't fit, stepping in for Roberts. It's options, I think. I mean, I'd say if he does sign, I would fear for Will Evans, but a lot of speculation at the moment, and certainly one to watch. I know we had similar rumours. The last similar rumours we had, which were very strong, was David McGoldrick, and that one came off. So
yeah,
I could well see it happening.
Yeah, and as you say, it's quite a credible source as well. It's not just churned out of nowhere. Yeah, like it's I think it's a tough one with strikers because obviously their main job is to bang in goals. And when that doesn't happen, I feel it's quite quick for fans to label them a flop or whatever. Like Victor Adeboyejo, who's obviously left, I think that was quite a mixed review in terms of fans. Like, a lot of saying he gave us everything, and some saying he just couldn't get off the mark.
I did see someone put a comment on to my initial story on this rumour, basically along that line saying X goals in however many games, no thanks. And that probably belittles a bit what the player's about. I mean, he's had 2 good seasons in terms of banging in the goals in League One, but I think he's a player that's going to, if he was to join Stags and obviously what he's done at the other clubs, it's not just about his goals, it's about bringing other players into play, holding the ball up. When you're under the cosh a bit, being that lone target man, and it's much more of an all-round game that you need to be appreciative of, I think.
Yeah, and I agree with the sense that, the experience and what he can bring also behind the scenes, maybe not even just on the pitch, it will be invaluable.
Absolutely.
It is just, I do get where people are coming from when they are looking at, but it's different when you get lower down the leagues, isn't it? Like, because a lot of the players can play till they're 40. I feel like that's less common in the Premier League. I feel retirement age is lesser as you go back.
You've got players, obviously, he's one of them. You hit your peak, don't you? You hit your peak, and then you start to make your way down. Does it mean you're a dud or you've got nothing to offer? It's a different sort of, it's a different kind of philosophy of the player. It's not just about being a player playing 46 games, banging the goals. It's someone that comes in, as you said, pass on the experience, pass on the knowledge, particularly if a promotion push does develop, the steadying influence in the dressing room when there might be a few nerves and whatnot. It's much part of a much bigger picture than just can this guy bang in 25 goals for us this season.
It's healthy debate, isn't it? And also, as like we say, we're not the ones in charge. We don't have to make these decisions, thankfully.
That would be amazing if Nigel did come to us for approval, but I don't think that's going to happen. So we can enjoy debating and see where Nigel goes on this one. And obviously, if the transfer does happen, we'll certainly be back to give it more debate and to find out what you guys think about it. So we'll leave it at that for now, and we'll see you next time.